we even talked about this in a previous episode where you were talking about how like they almost have more power in this dynamic than we do.
Oh yeah.
And that we need them to leverage their power, because they're going to be able to convince people who are not trans and non-binary more likely, you know what I mean? Like, you spoke about it so much better than
absolutely.
I did.
I think that that's absolutely true, because I love that quote.
I love my
whole idea.
quote.
Yeah. But I think that particularly I was speaking about cis men and like cis straight men, right? But it goes for anybody. It could be you know, people that attend a church. It could be any group of people. And if one of their peers who is like them, you know, cis whatever, challenges the negative things that they're saying, or they're challenging the stereotypes that they hear, it's more likely to be received than if someone were to hear it from us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I ask all of my allies that I'm friends with to challenge the negative things that they're hearing about us, because it's going to carry more weight than if it comes from me.
Yep.
You know, and I think, you know, I was talking to my partner last night, and they had the same question. They were just like, "What do we do? What can I do? I'm so mad." Yeah. And they're a wonderful artist, so I was like, channel this into your art. You know, there are so many things that we need to be talking about right now, that we need to be bringing attention to, and a lot of times the only way people will listen is if it's through art.
Yeah, some sort of aesthetic way of, you know, spending time with it, or even, I think sometimes I think one thing about artists that's really great is I think they really get it. They have a sensitivity and understanding about the subject that I think many of us are so removed or callous to that we can't really feel it or come to understand it. And I think art has such a great way of being able to create a container in which we can begin to feel what we need to feel, learn what we need to learn, that can be really a lot more difficult to do when we're not kind of in that, when we're not tapping into art in some form.
They're able to capture just the raw essence of things, you know, whether that's good or bad. And I think especially when you're feeling helpless around something like this, even getting a message out in whatever way you can is going to help you feel empowered.
Right.
And it does help, because I'm shocked sometimes when I talk to people and the things that they haven't heard about yet. And being able to get a message out is going to be cathartic. You know, you can get your feelings out into whatever you're working on and help inform other people. So, you know, I'm really trying to encourage people to channel this into art in some way, because art is activism.
Yeah, take some sort of action. And now is like a really great time too. I know there are a lot of organizations that are a lot more like, say, like ACLU and even like ourselves, where we're kind of more forward facing, but there are a lot of other kind of more grassrootsy ways of also kind of combating this or doing something about what is happening. So I think we really encourage people to find those pathways that feel good to them and push through them, which could be through art, it could be online, it could be in person, it could be a lot at their work, it could be a lot of different places. And then I also wanted to invite people to the Trans Joy Boise Cafe, which is just going to be a few days away from when this podcast comes out. So on January the 25th, we're going to be at the Unitarian Universalist Church. And it'll be the first of hopefully a monthly kind of opportunity for us to get together and do all the paperwork and stuff, because we've talked about that in previous podcasts, the importance of getting our paperwork, getting our shit in order, so to speak. Getting our names changed, getting our gender markers, checking in with like around our adoptions and marriages and wills and, you know, last rites and, you know, like the medical stuff, you know, all that sort of stuff is important. So we're going to have that sort of stuff available. But then I think also we're planning on having these like circles. We're kind of, I think I was playing with the idea of like affinity circles, but this idea of like having a social support opportunity to like break away and talk about like the grief with what's going on and do something with that, or the anger or the joy maybe even, or trying to tap into that joy, as well as opportunities to learn more about what's happening politically and how they can kind of get involved.
And we're working on setting up other groups or just opportunities to bring more trans and non-binary people together, maybe to learn stuff and just to, you know, be around people that are going through something similar, you know, whatever that may be. So
And just don't be by yourself in all this. Like, find a way to connect with others.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, we've been throwing around some ideas for different groups or activities to do, and I think that some of them are going to be really insightful, some of them are going to be really fun, you know, and I think at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is that we're together. You know, that we have these opportunities to just be around each other and talk and kind of help each other get through this, because we are all so mad, you know, and hurting through all of this, because every day you have to look at the news of people talking about how your existence is inconvenient. So
continue to keep an eye out for us. We're getting into the new year. We're planning on doing a survey to kind of figure out what it is that the community might need, as well as there's going to be opportunities to volunteer or get involved. So if you're looking for a channel, feel free to reach out to us and you know, offer to work with us or collaborate with us in something, or let us know something that you're doing that you would like for us to let people know about as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
That would be really fun.
Well, thank you so much, Pacey, for like going through some of this. I know there's so much more like of the nitty gritty to go through, but I think we did enough to kind of like begin to kind of give an idea.
I think so. Yeah, it's a lot to take in such a short amount of time, but I know that I'm sure when I check my phone later tonight, there will be fucking something else to talk about.
And I do want to like I do want to shout out you particularly. So people are wanting to keep track of more of the political aspects and the activism and getting more information. Pacey Speaks on Instagram and TikTok is a really great way. You've been creating some really great content specifically around this stuff to kind of help educate people, and I think direct people in kind of how to deal with some of this stuff, or even regurgitating and spitting it out in a way that's a little bit more understandable for us who might not be as in the know of everything. So folks can check out Pacey Speaks as well. I think that's a really great place. We have some of this stuff on Transjoy Boise, but you definitely have a lot more happening over there. So if folks are interested in that sort of content, I'd encourage you to check out Pacey Speaks, as well as like Socialistically Awkward is a really great place to kind of keep in check with kind of like political issues on a broader spectrum, but
definitely.
Really great stuff.
No, I agree.
Awesome. Well, should we say goodbye?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, until next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Are you gonna leave that recording?